I'm Jeb Blount Jr., and today we've got Mr. Tommy Poston, an incredible speaker, one of my favorite LinkedIn authors who is putting out great content, specifically for the sales world. So I think you're going to really enjoy this conversation.
The truth is, this is where it is because the scripts, the objection handling, everyone's got them skill sets within companies now or polishing them. But the missing piece is the leaders. Are the leaders leading from a place of authenticity,
Mm.
or are they leading from a place of do this our way and just push the message along? So if that explains it a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I think that that's absolutely fair. You're like you're going back to that example. You're the sales rep, and you lose that deal, whatever that deal is. It could be the biggest deal. It could just be a deal that you needed to win. Like I mean, whatever for whatever reason. You've got things
Right.
going on in your life. It's just that you had a tough month. Maybe you only closed like one or two deals that month, and you just needed that third one just to get you back into the game a little bit, and you lose it. And the sales manager says, "Oh, it's okay. Pat you on the back. You'll get them next time, Tiger."
Oh,
I think that you're right. The authenticity there is that if you're a leader, right, and I, as a rep on the other end of this, who's lost deals, and you've had an authentic leader who goes, Tommy, that sucks,
oh,
you know,
100%.
and you're like,
You'd look up. You constantly look up. Then you've got my attention because you're with me, beside me, feeling it.
yeah, and then that leader goes, okay, well, look, you're not in a good place. Seriously, you're not in a good place, and you know it, and I know it. So let's get out of this together. Let's figure this out.
Right.
Not you'll get him next time, Tiger. Here's the number for next month. Go, go get him. Not without realizing that as a leader, that person has lost confidence. The reality is that person has lost confidence, and sales is like 80%
Yeah.
confidence. 10% product knowledge, and then 10% just showing up on time. That's
Yeah.
it.
Right.
Maybe 100% picking up the phone and calling people. But you're as a leader, that authenticity. So how do you, as a as someone who has come into the industry, you've got Jeb, you've got these other people teaching skill sets, and skill sets are always
Mhm.
polished, always learned, objection handling, negotiating, all that kind of stuff. But the missing piece you said is authenticity. It's really helping your people from a leadership perspective. Um, how do you bridge the gap from pushing the just the corporate line to having leaders that really speak to their people? What does that look like
Yeah,
for you?
you see, that I feel that this is one of the toughest areas, especially um, where we are in today's world in corporate America and companies. If we go back to, it doesn't matter what company you work for, where I work for one of the biggest in the world or small. What's their objective? Well, the owner's objective or the president's objective or the shareholder's objective is revenue. I want my money, right? So if as a leader, if you just keep that in your head, and then what happens is then people at the top go, and here's how you do it. Well, then what people do then is follow it. Whereas this is where it's so difficult. If you haven't got the understanding of the how to be authentic, you will start following that path.
Mm,
And then what happens is if the results aren't there and you're all getting the same results, you're all just going, we'll double down on training.
mm,
We'll double down on meetings. We'll double down on reports because what happens, the fear grips.
mm.
And when fear grips, you double down on control. Where the authentic leader goes, they want this. That's what I want to. But here's the way I'm going to lead to do this,
Mm,
which takes courage
mm.
and it's very difficult. But I found myself, when I say the last man standing, I kept going up the ladder. And I'm in meetings where they're pushing one way, and my presidents would go, "You're not going to do that, are you?" Oh, well, I'm going to do the objective. The objective is X, but I believe, and here's why I'm going to go here. And I kept winning.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
so it's like, but you find yourself, and this is where if you don't have the how to understanding the ego, understanding authenticity, fear, empathy. Eventually, if you're surrounded by fear, it will grip you
Mm,
and you'll just fall in the status quo. And the status quo is the most horrendous place to be because you just flatline. And that's the way I look at. I shared with someone last week, a president. Um, I said, well, if you think about it, if we're status quo and everything stays the same, if that's in a hospital deathbed, a flat line, it's not good. You want the intensity, and you've got, it's like you want it up down there in order to move forward with it. So it's very difficult, but the authenticity piece, you got to keep your eyes on the prize, and without understanding these skill sets, I feel it doesn't matter how good the training is, how good that the skill sets are. When they get in their car and have a couple of bad calls, what and then what? What's going to happen now? They're not going to fall back on that Rocky music or that 20-minute speech that you gave on this great new tool that they can use on the phone, because fear's gripped them right now. And if they haven't got a leader that's going to be with them and understand it, these traits of the winner, it ain't going to work.
Hmm. Fear is something that you is a core tenet of what you really push for people to break through. And fear, I want you to talk about it from a leadership perspective. You're in these rooms, and I love that you had other people in your organization, the president, who said, "Tommy, you're just not going to do that, are you?" And you went, no,
Sure.
but I'll do that. I'll make more money, but I'm not going to do whatever it is that they think is going to get them the more money. So
Right.
if you're speaking with leaders in this audience who are in those rooms and they know it, they know they shouldn't be following the line that they are being told. How do they break through the fear respectfully,
Yeah.
but to follow their own authenticity from there?
Every single day, it does it in your personal and professional life. Fear is at the front door. It doesn't matter however you want to milk it, whether you're a father with kids, letting them get on the monkey swings, letting them go, fear's there. So you're either going to stop it, control it, or you're going to let it go. And it still could happen, but that's where growth occurs, right? The challenge that I feel in the sales world is, let's face it, it's all about a number.
Mm,
We've got to hit the number.
mm,
So the more you start missing that number, fear's gripping, because now you start asking yourself, I've got to do more. So you start overthinking. Straight away now, overthinking. What happens? Emails. We need to all push forward now. We need to all get going. So your fear has just been spreaded. So
mm,
the reps get it and go, here we go again. So we're overthinking. Then we're overcomplicating, over meetings. Maybe we're going to do more training. The way why we're in this hole is because of this. And the truth is, let's face the fear before we do anything with it. Let's not mask it. Let's not act from it. Let's face it, which I always tell people right now. Every morning, I do the same thing. I've got people I work with in companies. Write your fears down on a piece of paper. Write everyone down. Sometimes you may have one on there. Sometimes you may have 20 on there. Doesn't matter. Vulnerability, put them down. Acceptance. Do you accept every one of them fears right now? Sweat and courage. The sweat pieces, I've got to accept them fears that are there, and I've still got to go again and have the courage to act. If I can at least accept the fears that are there, that are at the front door, and not try and put a mask on, because the ego will protect the fear, we can move through it. And then maybe we don't send the email. Maybe we don't double down and get them out the field to have a meeting because they tell them that the performance was bad and we're going to do an extra hours training on phone calls or objection handling. Because when fear grips, control doubles down. And I've done it early on in my career, because you're chasing the number.
mm,
And then what's the opposite of control? Create. So if we can take that fear and turn it into healthy fear, where we've got to hit the number. It's all on the line. Well, maybe share that. Hey, everyone, our quarter's been, to be honest, we're off by about 50%. And if the truth be told, I'm looking at our funnel and it's horrendous and I don't have any answers. Just sit with that in the room, because everyone's feeling it. And you just sit back and pause and they're like, well, we've got some truth now. They'll connect with you more. However, here's what I feel I'm going to do in order to play my part. We're going to double down with intensity, with calling, appointments, contacting, sweat, and have the courage when we're in front of people to lead from who we are, be authentic. That's what I'm going to do. If we don't address it, we're going to double down with control. The opposite of control is create. So we want to turn the fear into fuel, healthy fear into fuel. And this is where I go, when you have people like Jeb that really lets people know, pick the phone up, let's go. You fuel this with that, you're going to get rockets.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to click like and subscribe so you never miss a single video. And if you want more sales training content, go to learn.salesgravy.com.